Chapter 7, we're picking up again on the bottom of page 243 with creating type on a closed path. We're going to add text around a circle. So let's go up now to View and Fit Artboard in Window. And right next to where we were, there is, at the bottom of the page, there is the yellow paw print, and we're going to select that, and we're going to select the threaded type that's right next to it. So that's selected. We're going to go to Object, and we're going to hide the selection. Now that being done, we want to zoom in now on that circle, and we are going to select the Type tool and position the pointer over the edge of the white circle. So just pick up your Type tool and over the edge of the white circle, and our type changes to so that the cursor has a dotted circle around it. This indicates that if you click, but don't click yet, the text is going to be placed inside the circle. Now, you want to hold down your Alt button or your Option button if you're on a Mac, and you want to position the pointer over the left side of the circle, and notice that your Type tool now changes to the insert with the wavy line. So when we get that, you're going to click on the circle, and now you're going to type zoo circle. ZOOCIRCLE. Now, the text flows around. Now it's going to have whatever attributes were for the last time we used the text tool. And so with the text still selected, click 3 times to select all the text, and with that selected, we are going to go to the control panel and change the font size from 33 points down to 16, so 14, 15, 16. The font style, let's just go with bold, so we get rid of the italics. We should be Adobe Garaman Pro or whatever you had last, which is going to be fine. And we're going to change the fill color from the black to the gold. Now we're going to adjust the position of the text. Pick up your, let me escape out of that. Pick up your selection tool, and we get that those lines. This time we've got 2 lines. We've got a double line next to, at the beginning of zoo circle. What we want to do is position the pointer over the line on the left end of the text right next to the word zoo. You're going to get that that line with an arrow. Now this is called a bracket. When you see that line with an arrow under your selection tool, you're going to drag that up and around in a clockwise position so that your halfway point is probably going to be on this line. If you, although if you started in a different location, it's going to be a little bit different. So you want to drag this up and over just so that zoo comes up right around in this area. Circle should almost fill across the tail, so you're pretty much centering this text at the top of the circle. You're not going to be able to do exact centering because we don't have that selected, but this is fine. We're just going to optically place it in a pleasing position wherever you'd like it to be. Now, when you create type on a path, you can set options to change the appearance of the text, including effects, alignment, and spacing. We're going to edit the type on the path options for the text on the circle. With the path type object selected with the selection tool as we have now, go to type on a path, and select Type on a Path options. Now, we'll drag this over to this side so we can see what's happening. In the Type on a Path options dialog box, make sure you click Preview. Right now it's on Rainbow, which is pretty much the default. If you choose to skew from the Effect menu, see how it changes? Then go back and choose Rainbow again. Align to Path. Instead of Baseline, click on Ascender, which is going to line the path up inside the circle instead of on the top. Next, we're going to go to spacing, and we want it to be a little bit tighter, so we're going to do a -18 for the spacing, and click OK. With the selection tool, position the pointer over the line on the next to the word zoo again, and this time drag the circle in a counterclockwise so that we're bringing the text back up to the top of the circle. Now, go to Object, Show All, deselect off to the side. The next thing we're going to do is wrap some text around an object, because right now this is difficult to read. So we're going to zoom out just a little bit. You can do this very easily. You can wrap text around objects like type objects, or you can do it around imported images, around vector artwork, so that the text just doesn't run over objects. Or you can do it to create interesting design effects. So we're going to wrap that text around the path object. So with the selection tool, click directly on the zoo circle text to select it, and go to Object, Arrange, and Bring to Front. Your text item must be to the front for it to work. Or, well, actually, to be the object that we want to have wrapped. We're going to go to Object now and Text Wrap and Make. This is going to wrap text around all the objects that are in the current selection, including type objects. And that's what we want, is we want the text that is in the block here to wrap around this circle and not go over the zoo circle words. So let's say OK to this, and this puts and forces the text to go around that circle. Now, I missed something because I forgot to change my offset. So I can go back into that. In fact, I'm just simply going to undo, and then I'll go back to Object, and I'm going to go again to Text Wrap, Make, and oh, that's what I needed to do. I needed to go, I didn't get my options. I need Object, Text Wrap, Options down at the bottom. Now I can change my offset to 13 points and select Preview to see how that works. And I can say OK to that now. OK. With the selection tool, drag the bottom middle point of the threaded text box. That's this one. We're going to drag that down to make sure the end of that sentence comes up and is showing again. So now go to View, Fit All in Window, and click off to the side to deselect, and you might want to save again. Especially because the next thing what we're going to do is convert some text to outlines. What that means is you're changing the text from being type into vector shapes so you can edit and manipulate them just like any other graphic object. Text outlines are very useful for changing the look of large display type. They're not very useful for body text or other type at small sizes. What happens with this is the file recipient doesn't need to have your fonts installed to open and view the file correctly, and that's fine, because sometimes, like the things that you do, if you have odd fonts that are loaded on your computer and I don't have them, and you send me the Illustrator file instead of the PDF, I'm not going to be able to see the font that you really wanted me to look at. So there might be times when you want to take and go to type and create outlines. So what we're going to do is we're going to select Zoo Tales at the top. Now remember, once a font is converted to outlines, the text is gone. I mean, it's turned into outlines and you can't edit it anymore. It's not a good idea to outline text that's smaller than 10 points in size, because when it converts to outlines, it loses some of what is in it to make it have its shape adjusted. So you have to convert all the type in a selection to outlines. You can't do just like a single letter. So use it sparingly, but use it wisely. Especially, like I said, if you're getting something that you are sending to me that you're using a font that is a unique font that you have on your system and you don't think I have it on mine. So with the selection tool, we've got Zoo Tales selected, and we're going to go Object, Type, and create outlines. There it is, which now turns the text into this. And you can now take this and drag it down just a little bit and get it positioned similar to what's illustrated in the book, similar to what I have here. Now, the text is no longer a font, it's artwork, and it can be placed and moved anywhere. See, it's got outlines all the way around it, and you can't edit it. It's no longer editable with your selection tool. You can triple click on it. You're going to go into isolation mode. You are not going to be able to edit that any longer as text. You can edit the shapes, but not text. One last thing that we're going to do is to pick up the text that is Thursdays at 6:30 p.m. and drag that up a little bit so it's not quite so tight to the bottom of the artboard, and position it where you would like it. Go up to View and hide your guides, and there is your file. One last save, and then remember to go to File, do a Save As, save it as a PDF, all artboards, because there are two and I need to see both of them. Remember that you're going to save as press quality. Remember, you need to leave Preserve Illustrator editing capabilities checked, and save your PDF, and that's the file you're going to turn in.